guest that can pop in. We're waiting for you, Bob Frady. I know. Where is he? Where is Bob? But if he joins, we'll let him in. So in today's episode of Happy Fridays, we have no guest, but we do have awesome Nick and Brent. Do you guys want to do quick introductions?
Brent, go.
Hey everyone, Brent Williams, founder and CEO of Benekiva.
Nick Lamparelli, Chief Underwriting Officer for Rethought Insurance and podcaster over at Coverager.
Boom.
So we typically share happy stories for the week. Either that's gratitude or something that's happened awesome in the week, whether it's personal or in business. Who would like to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
So I only have one this week, and I'm going to make it personal. So no business this week. So I'm part of, as you guys know, I'm a big golfer. I love to golf. And we have this year-long process called, we call it the Fedex League, because it mirrors the weekly points that they do for the FedEx Cup on the PGA Tour. So every week there's a tournament to be played. You have to play with someone else in the league to verify your score. So there's no cheating, none of that. You play everything just like you would in a tournament. But anyway, we have weekly winners, and then we have a year-long FedEx Cup winner. And I'm happy to say that I won the year-long process.
Wow.
It got down to the last week. I was a little scared because there were a couple that were right there, and I thought, man, if they play well, they're going to take me over. But I finally got the email that I had won the league. So that's a 28-week league. So literally, you have to just be in it every single week, and so that was a pretty fun moment because everybody chips in some. So there's obviously gambling involved. Everybody chips in. And but anyway, I didn't even know I won. So this is the funny part. I didn't even know I had won, and all of a sudden I start getting text messages like, "Hey, congrats!" And then I got a notice from PayPal that they had deposited $3,000 in my PayPal account. I was like, "What?" So I knew that I would win some money, but I didn't know how much it was going to be. And I was like, "Holy crap!" So anyway, we had this Wednesday. This last Wednesday, I offered to host like an open bar at the local drought house here, and so of course most of the 38 members showed up, and I said, okay, I'm gonna spend this much, right? And then the waitress comes to me and says, well, you're almost at that much. Just do another 100. Just do it. Long story short, about $1,000 later, I was like, okay, we're done for the night. But it was a good time. It made me happy. It was good to get together with everybody and just talk golf and do stupid things, and it was a fun time. So it made me happy this week.
We should get the waitress on. This should be her happy story with that tip. That's awesome. Can you share like your average score?
Yeah, I'm a 6 handicap.
Wow.
So yeah,
that's awesome.
I'm okay. Which for the league, it's harder. It's harder for single-digit handicappers because you basically got to shoot your handicap almost every week just to have a chance. Because you go too far off of your handicap, and all of a sudden you go from 2nd to 12th. I mean, it's that big of a jump. So I was pretty proud that I was able to kind of stay in the hunt. All of those. So I figured it up. Out of the 28 weeks, I was in first place 24 of them. So, and I didn't have, there were weeks where some of these people the higher handicappers, they would have like a 10 under week, right? Because there might be an 18 handicap and they get 18 strokes cut off of their score and they shoot a net 10 under, and I never had that. I always just had, my best round in league was 5 under net. right? Which means I shot, you know, 6 over or
Yeah, 11 over.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
so it, or actually less than that. I would have had to shot 7 over, right? To get, so you subtract out 6.
Math isn't my thing.
But so it's harder for single digit handicappers to be consistent, you know. So I was pretty proud of that. But
Are you a single digit handicapper?
yeah.
And don't talk to me.
I bet you're a better golfer than this other guy, B.O.B.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, I'm sorry I'm late. I was, I was thinking about you actually this morning because you deal with claims data.
Uh-huh.
Claims data is such a freaking mess.
Yeah.
It is like, it's like herding cats, for crying out loud. It is. I'm like,
Now you know why I'm old.
so we got this file. We're doing this big study for Lloyd's.
By the way, this is live, Bob.
Oh, I'm sorry I'm late. That's okay. It's live. I'm 10 minutes late. I'm right on time. I'm in California, dude. So like we're doing this big study for Lloyd's
One
lab.
thing about Bob, he's always entertaining. There is no doubt.
and they classify like the difference between fire and wildfire claims. It's like, what's the difference? It depends upon how they code it. And so we look at this file and we're like, these are probably wildfire claims. And they're like, oh yeah, you're right. I'm like, I have to go back and recode everything. I'm like, great. But it's exciting, but at the same time, it's like claims files are built at the policy level, not at the address level.
Mhm.
And that is a big thing it's a lot of data. science.
It's a big mess.
So-
As my mother would say, it's a big mess.
It's a big mess. I do forget that you're Italian sometimes, so I have to be careful not to piss you off because
Would you say?
He's
What'd
had,
you say? You got a problem with me? You got a problem with me?
he's had some kneecaps, and that's for sure. He'll have some kneecaps.
You said it was a good grade for floods. Now it's wet.
Yeah,
What's the problem here?
You pay. You pay for this.
You pay. Where's your insurance policy?
You pay.
What are we talking about today? I have no idea. I just jumped in and started talking. Sorry.
Bob, welcome to Happy Fridays.
Oh, happy
We would be-
Friday.
What we typically do, since you're 10 minutes late, we still will let you introduce yourself so our audience know who you are, and then you get to share a happy story, whether that's personal or business, for the week.
Okay. My name is Bob Frady. I am the CEO and co-founder of Hazard Hub. I got a lot of good stories, but for the week, I would say we released our catastrophic flood model yesterday. It's the first of its kind in the space.
Nice.
And so that was a lot. That was an enormous amount of work and revisions to what we currently do to make it work. And we're super excited about it.
That's cool.
But yeah, it's been good news central here at Hazard Hub. We're very fortunate. There's a lot of people who are in bad shape, and we're not one of them, thankfully. Which sounds like, it sounds terrible to say, but we're doing okay.
Yeah.
But the good
That's
news
awesome.
is we released the catastrophic flood model and 99,000 new hydrant locations
Nice.
this week, and 18,000 hand verified fire station locations. It's been fun. Yeah. I get excited about hydrant locations. So like, there's one.
So in full disclosure, I am a client of Bob Frady. So me pay Bob a lot of money. Bob,
This is not too much money.
Yeah.
It's a nice amount. It's good.
why your technology never work? Why?
I work all the time. Maybe you don't work on the technology right.
It's broke all the time. It's broke. What's wrong with you?
So that's my good news for the week.
That's awesome.
The model, Bob, I have to tell you, is Bob and I I kicked the tires on it. So last week, Bob shared some of his CEO time, which is very valuable, because he sent me a pile of data, and I'm like, what am I looking at here? It was like just numbers, like
It's funny. It's like everybody's concerned about flood, and then but what's flood? You got sort of your everyday run of the mill flood, and then you have things that happen when the rain comes and takes a vacation over your house, and it's like it's so intertwined with hurricane risk that it's because the hurricane comes, and if it blows through and blows your roof off, that's one thing. But if it just kind of hangs around for a few days, it creates a catastrophic amount of water that nobody really anticipates. Or if a storm, it's like you're driving across country and you want to make time. Most storms want to make time. Some storms are like, let's go visit Tennessee for a few days. And they just sit there, pour enormous amounts of water, and nobody really has an answer for that right now. Not that people won't, but they just don't right now because everybody's concerned about, do I build on this spot? And, if there's a 1 in 100 year, if there's a catastrophic flood, well, we'll take our chances. That's what insurance is for.
Yeah.
And so as an insurer, you want to make sure that you're reassuring enough to say, okay, there is a possibility that this will get wet if there are rains of unusual size. And that's the thing that really ticked me. That's my sad part of the week, is when I made the announcement, I called it rains of unusual size, and nobody got the reference. Does anybody get the reference? It's The Princess Bride. Rodents of unusual size. I said rains of unusual size.
Is that the movie with Andre the Giant?
Yes.
That's
I think I
inconceivable, Bob.
skipped that one.
Inconceivable.
I don't think that word means what you think it means.
What
Anyways,
word?
any of them.
Listen, rains and rodents aren't the same thing. I understand that part. Of unusual size, you would think that is something that people would remember.
Yeah. I watch mafia movies. That's not my thing.
Hey, you have a Simpsons background. That's made me happy today. I still don't know how to put a background on my screen. I keep trying. I'm like, I can't figure it out.
And we're supposed to trust you with our flood model. Oh.
Hey, listen. Data. I can talk about.
So I can tell the audience that as a customer, Bob has taken Hazard Hub is taking a unique view of this, which is actually quite useful. We struggle with narrating, telling the story of things that are low probability, right? So the vast majority of properties in the United States are low risk for flood, but a lot of those people think they have no risk. And it's very hard with our tools to sort of communicate what the risk actually is. And Bob's new data set is going to help us communicate that. I like the approach very much, Bob. I think you guys did a wonderful job, and I think we're going to be using a ton of that to help our brokers and help our customers understand what low risk means. And
what was the best part of it, Nick? What was the best part of it?
That you and I got to talk on a Zoom and we could stare at each other.
No, the best part is that it's free for you.
Oh, it's part of our license. Yes.
Yep. We develop cool new data stuff all the time. And if you're an API customer, it's free. There you go.
So
look at that.
There you
no
go.
upcharge. No, like, well, if you want the good stuff, then you're gonna have to pay just a little bit.
As my father from beyond the grave would say, "Me like Bob. Me like a lot. Me like."
I am very encouraged to see that since you moved to Florida, your Italian accent has come back.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see.
Yeah.
It's nice to see.
Eat some pasta con parmigiano, some pasta fagioli. Yeah.
The pasta fagioli.
Hey.
Like, people can't speak a word of Italian, but they can pronounce that right.
Yeah.
Isn't that a cool stuff?
We could go for an hour.
Would you like to go?
Sure.
Yeah.
It's my turn.
Okay, I said something good. All right, I'm happy.
It's my turn. Happy story number one. At about 4:30 p.m., I'm on vacation. Don't text me. We're heading up to North Carolina, and I'm going to do some hiking and go off the grid and just chill out and just try to recharge my batteries. So feels weird. I haven't had a vacation in years. I won't know how to just chill out, but I'm gonna give it.
2 weeks ago, my wife and I had to drive our daughter back to University of Arizona, and we're like, we're gonna take a couple of days off. And I took 1 day off, and that was pretty good. I unplugged fully for 1 day, and then I was like, I'm too busy. It's Q4. We got to move things.
Yeah.
So, drove all the way back, and I was like, yeah, all right, let's go.
Yeah. So it's wild because we're really busy too. So we're getting into Q4 as well, and we have a few days left in October, and we've already shattered our best month ever. And one of the things, and I had a conversation with a close friend who's also in a startup industry incumbent, a veteran, and we had a heart to heart and just talked about a whole bunch of stuff. And the thing with insurance is it takes years, and other people just don't realize it. Like, you need to allow the renewals to kind of come in and get some momentum, right? And people who come in from outside the industry, whether it be finance or tech, they think as soon as you build something, why isn't it selling?
Yeah.
Why haven't we gotten that curve? And it's like, it just doesn't work that way in insurance. But once you get there, once you've established credibility in the market and people trust you and stuff, and those renewals start kicking in, it's a good feeling when like going into next month, it's like if we get 90% retention, it's gonna be a fairly good month for us.
Awesome.
We could see like a line of sight of like record months over and over again. So for those of you that are coming from outside of insurance, it's a natural cycle. You can't plant pumpkin seeds in September and expect anything. You got it.
Especially if you get close to underwriting an actuary. That's like the sun. It's like flying into the sun. It just takes a long time to get there. Whereas claims, I'm like, every time I turn around, you guys have a new customer. I'm like, how the hell did you do that? Who started at the same time? I'm like, wow, they're just growing like crazy. And I'm like, claims, because now I know, because claims is like the wild west of data organization. So if you can put some sense around it, good for you. Good for you. I don't want to get into the claims business, but man,
It's fascinating.
Brent and Bobby, they give them an offer they can't refuse.
Hey, you know what? We'll make sense of this stuff for you. You know, don't worry about it. We got it.
Don't worry about it.
We got it.
You pay the bill. Don't worry about it.
You check good. You check good. All right.
I'm gonna put that at the bottom of our invoices. You pay the bill. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry. I got it.
You don't want us to call you. Pay the bill. Pay the bill. Bobby. Top that.
I'll wrap. I can't top that. I'll just be brief today. My happy story is that we are hiring again. So we're going to be sending an offer today. And this is a very senior person that we are so excited that is jumping into Benekiva and will be
Is this someone that we know?
Is it just a
You may know.
may know?
Ooh,
Okay.
You may know.
exciting.
You may know.
Exciting.
All right.
You may know.
We know a lot of people.
Yeah. So
Yay, know
you'll
a few
see the
people.
announcement come November.
Congratulations.
We have to wait
And,
that long?
and then then the second person that we're going to be most likely hiring will join us soon as well. So we're excited. Both of them are in the US. Both of them come from strong insurance and delivery background. So it's important it's important to have the industry knowledge as well as how do you implement the hard stuff and into a carrier organization. They have that expertise. So
Congratulations. That's
Yeah.
excellent news. Okay, I keep doing this now. This is twice. You say good news, and I have a related piece of good news. We are also hiring somebody. We made an offer that was accepted yesterday. And what was interesting about it is we can't travel anymore. So we made this video and we stuck it on our website that talks about the company and how we do.
I love that video.
And this person was getting recruited by a bunch of companies, and he saw our name on one of our partner sites. And he's like, I like hazards. Let's look at them. And then he watched the video. He's like, that's the company I want to work for. He wrote to us.
Wow.
And then 2 weeks later, offers in hand. I was like, wasn't expecting that.
Pretty cool.
That video, Bob, you introduced me to that videographer. He is so good. Like,
Oh, yeah.
If you guys haven't seen the new Hazard Hub video, Brent, like that's a big type of video we want to create, but it's so cool. It's so cool. It's so real. It's a storytelling. I love the storytelling videos. I don't like the fake buildings and jazz and like, it's like, okay, that's so like not real.
It's like, yes, look at me. I solved your problem. Yeah.
It was more like I'm Bob, but it was so good. You guys did it well.
You know, the challenge we gave them was to try to capture the soul of the company, and that's a really hard challenge for people. And luckily, we're in Los Angeles area, so you know there's a lot of filmmaking talent out here. But they did a great job of helping us to uncover a story that really resonated with who we are, because we're just guys who like building data, and we want to make it easy and simple and all that stuff, and I hope it came across.
And obsessed with fire hydrants.
Obsessed.
So the fire hydrant, I do have a question about the fire hydrant. So you said you've had human verified fire hydrants, correct?
Correct. Yes. Fire hydrants and fire stations.
Were dogs involved?
You know, Brent, come on,
What a
man.
great idea.
Can you go more obvious than that? It's like calling me Frady Cat from crying
It's
out
not
loud.
verified.
Come on, man. Dogs are too indiscriminate. They're too indiscriminate. It's like you'll get trees, you'll get legs, you'll get all sorts of stuff in there that are not real hydrants. Yeah, it's every presentation I give about hydrants, I'm like, I know what you're thinking. And I show a picture of a dog sniffing a hydrant. I'm like, too indiscriminate.
Well, this wraps up our Happy Friday episode. Bob, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm sorry I'm late. I'm glad I finally made it over in time. I was doing data analysis. Data analysis throws you into like a warp. It's like a wormhole, and then you emerge the other side, and it's 5 hours later. It's like, what the hell happened in the day? Like, anyway, it's good to see you. Thank you so much for having me on.
Absolutely. And thank you, Nick. Thank you, Brent.
Arrivederci.
It's good to see you.
Ciao, arrivederci.
I'll see you again soon.
Ci vediamo.